Everything is good to go. We are set up. Phone is charging. Perfect. We'll go ahead and confirm that we are live and set up. I'd like to apologize for being late. Having some technical difficulties today. The internet is out, so I'm currently off of mobile data. So we're going to see how it goes today. We're going to just go ahead and see how it goes. I'll give it about a minute to start. Let people come in. Hey, Baronator, welcome back. Hey, Richard Green. Welcome back. Welcome back. Give about 30 seconds. We'll go ahead and get started. Everything is set up. Welcome back, Richard Green. Welcome back, Baronator. Good to see you, Javier. You guys, I apologize if there are any technical difficulties. Yes, I have had a good day so far. I'd like to apologize if there are any technical difficulties today because I'm running off of mobile data. So, good. I'm glad you guys are excited. This is fun. This is fun. All right. Let me do the beginning of the show announcements. Guys, we're doing game night where I host the games and you guys play them. I am adding a new game to today's stream. And every time you guys get a point in any of the games, you will get your name on the scoreboard. You'll get a point on the scoreboard. And if it's your first time ever getting a point in this game, you will be added to the Hall of Fame, where once a man enters, you never leave. And whoever gets the most points on the scoreboard who is not already on the Hall of Champions will enter the Hall of Champions. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and kick it off with Guess That Balloon. We're going to go ahead and kick it off with Guess That Balloon. The first person to correctly guess what I am making will earn a point on the scoreboard. Good luck, players. Good luck, players. First person to correctly guess what I am making will get a point on the scoreboard. It is not a sword. Also, Baronator, congratulations for entering the Hall of Champions last night. Roblox, we are playing a live game show where I host the games and you guys play them. First person to correctly guess what I'm making gets a point on the scoreboard. Looks like Anissa got it with laser gun. Congratulations, Anissa. Anissa, welcome back, Anissa. Let me add your name to the scoreboard. Welcome to the scoreboard today, Anissa. Let me go ahead and give you your point. If I can play, all you have to do is comment to play. All you have to do is comment to play. The first person correct to guess what I am making. We're going to point on the scoreboard, and then we're going to move on to a subscriber fan favorite, which is Blurt. Everybody on the show so far loves Blurt. All right. Any eaters are welcome on here. All right, guys, first person to correctly guess what I am making will get a point on the scoreboard, and we're going to move on to Blurt right after this because that is a fan favorite. First person to correctly guess what I am making will get a point on the scoreboard. Dog is correct. Another point for Anissa. All right, guys, we're going to move on to Blurt. Blurt is a fan favorite, and I personally like it as well. We have one more game we're adding to the show today. The rules for Blurt are simple. The first person to tell me the correct definition for one of two words. Oh, sorry. I will give you guys the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct definition for either word will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, a small piece of shaped metal that is used to open or close a lock. The second definition, a book of maps. Up to 2 points can be handed out this round to the players. Key is correct. And the second definition, and Atlas is correct. All right, that is another point for Nisa and Javier. I do have to add you to the scoreboard. Javier, welcome to the scoreboard. All right, guys, we're going to play another round of Blurt. We're going to play another round of Blurt. Anybody can play. All you have to do is comment. All right, we're going to play another round of Blurt where I will give you guys the dictionary definition for 2 words. Bob, we're playing a game show. I host them, you play them. We're going to play another round of Blurt where I will give you guys the definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players, you guys. The first definition, someone whose work is to chop down trees and get the logs to a sawmill. The second definition, the act of gathering a crop. Lumberjack is correct. Another point to Javier. The second definition, the act of gathering a crop, is the first person to get the correct answer. We'll get it. Harvest is correct. All right, I have to add you to the scoreboard. I see I lost my marker. No problem. We're going to continue anyway. Who got harvest first? It looks like Just for Fun Fishing. Welcome to the scoreboard. Just for Fun Fishing coming in the scoreboard with 1 point. And Just for Fun Fishing, it looks like this is your first time earning a point on this show. Welcome to the Hall of Fame, where once you earn 1 point on this game show, your name enters the Hall of Fame and you never leave. There's currently 90 people on the Hall of Fame. And whoever gets the most points on the scoreboard who's not already in the Hall of Champions will enter the Hall of Champions. Only one person enters each stream. Only one person enters each stream. We're going to continue on with another round of Blurt. Hey, thank you for joining. Fun for Fishing. Thank you for joining. We're going to move on to another round of Blurt where I will give you guys the dictionary definition for 2 words. And the first person to give me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, a small brown spot on the skin. The second definition, a daily record of a person's own experiences and thoughts. You want a crown win, then you have to get the most points on the scoreboard. Freckle is correct. And the second definition, a daily record of a person's own experiences and thoughts. Memory is not correct. Diary is correct. All right, guys. The first person on my screen to say freckle was Maddie Garcia. We've had a few Maddies in here. Maddie, let me go ahead and welcome to the scoreboard. Maddie, I do not know if you were the same Maddie from the other day. I will be checking after the stream, but just in case you're not, I will be adding your name to the Hall of Fame if this is your first time on the stream. Congratulations, welcome. Once your name enters, you never leave. The first person on my screen who said diary. The first person on my screen who said diary, Anissa. Anissa coming in strong. Anissa coming in strong. All right, guys, we're going to play another round of Blurt where I will give you the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person, hey, there's a firework for the new sub. The first person to give me the correct definition for either word will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out. The first definition, a small closet in a gymnasium or public place in which clothes and valuables can be locked up. The second definition, a knitted or crocheted outer garment worn on the upper part of the body. Locker is correct. The second definition repeated, a knitted or crocheted outer garment worn on the upper part of the body. It is not scarf. It is not cardigan. It is not scarf, and it is not cardigan. All right, who has it? It is sweater. The first person on my screen to say locker would be Just for Fun Fishing. 1 more point for Just for Fun Fishing. And the first person on my screen who said sweater would be another point for Javier. Just so you guys know, Javier and Anissa are already in the Hall of Champions. So, if they get the most points, I will give the next person who has the most points entered into the Hall of Champions. We're going to play another round of Blurt. Guys, this is a live game show where I host the games, you guys play the games, and I do keep score. 1 person enters the Hall of Champions every single show. We're going to move on to another round of Blurt. This is where I give you guys the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. The first definition, a tall plant that has large ears with many kernels. The second definition, one of the movable parts which a bird, bat, or insect uses in order to fly. Corn is correct. The second definition repeated. Wings is correct. Wings is correct. The first person on my screen who said corn was Javier. And the first person on my screen who said wing or wings would be Queen of NASA. All right, Queen of NASA, welcome to the scoreboard. Let me go ahead and write you down, Queen of NASA, with your 1 point. And Queen of NASA, it looks like this is the first time you have earned a point on this game show, which means welcome to the Hall of Fame, where once your name enters, it never leaves. There's currently over 90 people. There's currently over 90 people in the Hall of Fame. We're going to go ahead and move on to another round of Blurt. And for the regulars who have come back, which I greatly appreciate, I have added another game that we'll be testing out tonight on the show. Moving on to another round of Blurt. This is where I give you the dictionary definition for 2 words. And the first person to know the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition: someone who makes, repairs, or alters clothing. The second definition: someone who hides aboard a ship or other vehicle to get a free ride. Taylor is correct. I will repeat the first definition: someone who hides aboard a ship or other vehicle to get a free ride. This is a tricky one, guys. This is a tricky one, guys. It is not a smuggler. Although it does. I will give you a hint. It does start with an S. Stowaway is correct. The first person on my screen who said Taylor would be just for... Oh, no, it would be Anissa. I almost missed her comment above. And guys, we do need a way to break ties if 2 people send it at the same time. So we go off of my screen. I can always show my screen to verify who got it first. And the first person to say stowaway on my screen was Just for Fun Fishing. Just for Fun Fishing, it looks like you're currently in the lead for entering the Hall of Champions. However, that is subject to change. These streams go for 2 hours with a 5-minute intermission halfway through. 5-minute break halfway through. We're going to play another round of Blurt where I will give you the dictionary definition for 2 words, and the first person to correctly give me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. The first definition: a school class for children from the ages of 4 to 6. The second definition: to make, repair, or fasten with a needle and thread. Elementary is not correct. It is not preschool. Kindergarten is correct. 1 more point for Anissa. And so is correct. So is correct. The first person on my screen to say so was Queen of NASA. You did say S-O-W. As that is a typo, I am lenient because I understand you guys are typing and mistakes happen, so you get the point. You were still the first 2 people to say it, but I am lenient with mistakes. So typos are fine, guys. For now, typos are fine. I am sorry, we're going off of... This is the Webster Dictionary definition. This is also not the only game we play on the show. We play many. Today we have about 4 games we will be playing. We're going to continue on to another round of Blurt. Where I will give you the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to number the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. I do try to make it as fair as I possibly can, Simon. I am sorry we are going off of U.S. English, and I am sorry. I do try to make it as fair as I can. We're going to continue on in another round of Blurt. The first definition: a set of straps or wires that fits over an animal's snout to keep it from biting. The second definition: an illusion of seeing, hearing, or otherwise sensing something that does not exist. And I also do, when I do trivia questions, I also do not make them U.S. specific, just because muzzle is correct. Just because I know most of my audience isn't even in the U.S., and I am from the U.S., but most of them is not. Hallucinating is correct. And so I do not do U.S.-specific trivia questions. Unless it is a really, really major event. 1 point for Just for Fun for saying muzzle first. Just for Fun, you're currently in the lead for entering the Hall of Champions. And on my screen, the first person who said hallucinate or hallucination, hallucinating, would be Barinator. All right, Barinator. As I did happen to lose my marker, and I do know. Oh, there we go. All right, Barinator, let me go ahead and add your name. Welcome to the scoreboard, Barinator. Barinator was the most recent addition to the Hall of Fame. Barinator was the most recent addition to the Hall of Fame. All I'm sorry, Hall of Champions, not Hall of Fame, Hall of Champions. Just so you guys know, the brown names are the people who are already in the Hall of Champions. The blue names are the people competing to get into the Hall of Champions. We're going to move on to another round of Blurt. Blurt is where I will give you guys the dictionary definition for 2 words, and the first person to tell me this is okay, Simon, there are other games. Yo, operator, welcome back. We have a new game for today's show. We have a new game that will be added soon. We're actually going to do the new one after one more round of Blurt. 2 more rounds of Blurt. We're going to play the new game. All right, guys, Blurt is where I give you the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, to hit or strike out with the foot. The second definition, the opening in a human or animal body through which food is taken in. Kick is correct. 1 more point for Queen of NASA. Catching up to Just for Fun Fishing. And mouth is correct. Another point for Queen of NASA. Queen of NASA and Just for Fun Fishing, you're both currently tied for entering the Hall of Champions. 1 more round of Blurt, and we are going to move on to a new game. All right, guys, Blurt is where I will give you the dictionary definition for 2 words, and the first person to know the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, a race for runners over a distance of 26 miles and 385 yards, or about 42 kilometers. The second definition, an elephant with shaggy hair that lived thousands of years ago. All right, let's see. Who has it? I do not see it. Yeah, marathon is correct. Woolly mammoth is close enough. Woolly mammoth is close enough. Mammoth was the correct answer. And on my screen, the first person to say marathon on my screen, was Theopolis Pennington. Theopolis, welcome back, Theopolis. Great to see you again. Theopolis was also entered into the Hall of Champion about a week ago. Hey, Theopolis, welcome back. I haven't seen you since you entered. Theopolis, welcome to today's scoreboard. Great to see you back in, Theopolis. Great to see you back in. As you'll see, Theopolis, your name is in the Hall of Champions. Once you enter, you do not leave. And the first person on my screen to say mammoth would be Queen of NASA. All right, Queen of NASA, you just overtook first place, and you're currently on your way to entering. You are currently on your way to entering the Hall of Champions, but this is a 2-hour stream and is not decided until the end. All right, guys, we're going to move on to another game. This is a brand new game, so even the regulars, nobody has seen this game yet. This game is called Password. How it works is you guys are trying to guess my password. It is one word. I am going to repeatedly give hints until I see the correct. Hey, Queen of Nest, it's okay if you gotta go. Come back another time. All right, guys, password is where I will give a bunch of hints until somebody guesses the password. It is one word. I'm just going to continue to say hints. Then whoever gets it right first will get a point on the scoreboard. This is the new game that we're going to be trying out. All right, guys, this is a mythical creature. It is a mythical creature. I have to turn this up so I can see. It is a mythical creature that breathes fire, has wings, flies. Welcome back, Trash Kitty. It is a dragon. A dragon is correct. Hey, Trash Kitty. Welcome back, Trash Kitty. All right, I have to add Trash Kitty to the scoreboard. Welcome to the scoreboard, Trash Kitty. Watch out, guys. Trash Kitty is a regular who I assume will be competing for the Hall of Champions. Trash Kitty's been on quite a few shows. Welcome, Trash Kitty. I'm going to go ahead and give you your point, and we're going to continue on. We're going to play a few more rounds of Password. This is the new game added. I do add new games every single week. All right, guys. How password works is I'm going to give you guys a bunch of hints until somebody correctly guesses my password. The password is only one word. All right, guys. This is a type of animal. This is a type of animal. They're often found in small cages in people's houses. They live on land. It is a type of animal. It is a classification of animal. They can have scales. Some of them can swim. I believe most of them live on land. Some of them can live. It is not a specific animal. It is a type of animal. Reptile is correct. Reptile is correct. Who on my screen was the first person to say reptile? First person on my screen who said reptile would be Javier. One more point for Javier. Javier, where are you on the board? You're up top. You're up top, competing with Anissa for the high score. Just so you guys know, one person will enter the Hall of Champions every single stream. If you're already on the Hall of Champions, you may still play. But the people who are already on the Hall of Champions, which we have 4 champions here today, are competing to beat the high score of the stream, currently set by Javier at 49 points. All right, guys. We're going to play another round of password. This is where you guys have to guess my password from the hints that I give. All right, guys. People use this to blow their nose. I don't even know if I'll have to give another one. People use this to blow their nose. It is a tissue. Maddie Garcia. One more point for Maddie Garcia. We're going to move on to another round of password where you guys have to guess my passwords based off the hints that I give. It is one word. All right, guys, this is a sport that can be played outside or inside with rackets, a ball, and a net. The ball is very bouncy. I think this can be played in singles and doubles. First person to get it correct. All right, Simon, I will go back and check in 1 second. Tennis is correct. 1 point for Maddie. Simon, I will go back and check, okay? I will go back and check. All right, guys, I do like to be as fair as I possibly can on this game show. So, because of the internet, I'm going to show you guys 10 that Maddie said 10 is first on my screen. This is how this game show can be fair. We need some way to break ties, and with the internet, if you all sent it around the same time, it will show on your guys' screen that you all said it first because of how the internet works. However, we're going to use my screen as the tiebreaker, and I do like to be as fair as I possibly can. I'm pulling up the chat right now, and you guys will see. So the first person to say tissue on my screen, I really wish this chat summary would go away. All right, here it is. Let me make sure it's up. Here it is on my screen. You guys can see Maddie Garcia said tissue, and then Anissa, and then the Judgmental Cat is a funny name, and then Theopolis, and then Richard, and then Simon, and then Trash Kitty. So as you guys can see, the first person on my screen, since I'm the host, I am getting the messages the fastest and the first, would be Maddie Garcia. I will have you guys know it is a small interruption in the game flow to show you the chat, but integrity of fairness is important to me, so I will verify it as much as I can and as much as you guys want me to. We are going to continue on. We're going to play another round of password where I will give you guys many hints until somebody guesses my one-word password. All right, this is a feeling or an emotion. Somebody without many friends, family, or people in their life may feel this feeling. It is not sad. It is not touch. It is lonely. It is lonely. All right, Ref Wolf, welcome back to the show, Ref Wolf. I have to add your name on the scoreboard. Ref Wolf, welcome back to the show. Good to see you. One point for Ref Wolf. All right, guys, we're going to continue on with another round of password. Hey, Simon, it's okay. Sometimes I know somebody who did not even get their first point until 3 streams in. It happens, and sometimes your internet is not the best, doesn't have the best connection. You try playing on your computer or coming back another time. I do try to stream every single day, guys. All right, guys. Females can wear this to smell nice. Guys can wear this as well, but it's usually called a different name. The Judgmental Cat, I can always pull up my screen for the tiebreaker. Perfume is correct. The first person on my screen who said perfume was Simon. The first person on my screen who said perfume was Simon. Remember, guys, I can pull up my chat as well. You can always pull up my chat. This is only a 2-hour stream. All right. Simon D, welcome to the scoreboard. I do have to add your name on the scoreboard. And Simon D, it looks like this is your very first time ever entering and earning a point on this show, which means after the show, I will add your name to the Hall of Fame. And once it enters, you never leave. You enter the Hall of Fame by earning 1 point on this show. There's currently 90 people in the Hall of Fame and over a dozen people in the Hall of Champions. Only one person's entered the Hall of Champions every single. What's men for perfume called? Is what's the men's perfume called? What do you mean? They usually call it cologne. I really don't see a difference, to be honest, but they really just call it cologne. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and play another round. Good job, Simon. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. Guys, we're going to play another round of password, where the first person to correctly guess my one-word password, we're going to point on the scoreboard. All right, guys. Bees make this in their hive. This is a very sweet thing that you can eat. You typically don't eat it alone. You typically eat it on things. You could add it to tea. Honey is correct. Hold on, the Judgmental Cat. Let me solve this issue. The Judgmental Cat, which word did you say that you said first? Please let me know in the chat, and I will go back and check. Please let me know which word you said in the chat, and I will go back and check. All right, on my screen, Simon said honey first. Where are you? Simon D coming in with 2 points. The Judgmental Cat, we're going to solve it right now. The Judgmental Cat, if you could let me know. You said lonely. I'm going to go back to lonely. I will show you guys. Who did I give? Actually, it doesn't matter who I gave the point to because I can check who said it first on mine. All right, I'm going to pop out the chat again just to show you guys. The internet can be tricky because if you guys all say it around the same time on your screen, and I'm talking to 10 of you at once on your screen, on 10 of your guys' screen, it will say that all of you sent it first on your screen because you're sending it on your device. So on your device, it's going to show that first. However, it has to travel far and wide across the world. So we use my screen. We use my screen to break the ties. Since I am hosting this, I am getting them first before you guys. So lonely was what we are disputing right now. I'm going to show you guys lonely. The Judgmental Cat, here is where you said lonely. You claimed that you said it first, and I don't blame you. I'm very sorry for the internet. I know this is the only fair way we can do it is by having a way to tiebreaker. I'm going to scroll up. It was said once here, once here, once here, here. So the first person to say lonely on my screen was Refwolf. All right, we're going to continue back on the game, guys. We're going to continue back on the game. I do apologize. I know the internet can be slow for some people. All right, guys, we are going to continue on with another round of password. We're going to continue on with another round of password. All right, guys, password is when I give you guys are trying to guess my one-word password by the hints that I give first person to correctly guess. We'll get a point on the scoreboard. All right, guys, this is a topping typically on hot dogs made out of pickles. It's green. It can come in a jar. Fair enough. Sorry, the Judgmental Cat. We just need some way to take relish is correct. On my screen, that would be Maddie Garcia. Congratulations, Maddie. Yes, I'm sorry, the Judgmental Cat. I do know that it is perceived as unfair because on your guys' screen, a lot of you guys, it will say that you got it first. I do apologize, but it would also say that 5 people got it first on their screen. We need some way to break the ties, and I do The integrity of it being fair is really important to me, so that's why I have this monitor, just to show you guys the chat, to break the ties. And I am sorry, it may not seem fair, but I am doing my best to try to keep this show as fair as possible. You don't know what's relish. It's pretty much just it's chopped up sweet pickles that you can put on different things. It's like first person to say relish was Maddie. I do believe I gave you your point, Maddie. If I forgot, please let me know. We're going to play one more round of password. All right. People will typically lock their animals up in this when they're away, or they will send it to this for they will board. It's not quite a cage. It's not quite a cage. People will send their dogs somewhere, and the dogs might be locked up in this. It's not quite a cage. Think of another word for cage. It's not a pen. Kennel is correct. 1 point for just for fun fishing. 1.4 just for fun fishing. Just for fun fishing, you're currently tied with Queen of NASA. However, I do believe she had to leave. So as long as you get one more point, you'll be in the lead. Which, by the way, if somebody has the most points and they leave this game show, they're still entered into the Hall of Champions if they're the winner. Just because you leave does not mean you're automatically, your score's wiped. The only time I wipe somebody's score off the board is if you guys get banned for being inappropriate towards other players. That's the only time. You guys, please keep this a fun, friendly, welcoming environment to all. All right, I would like to ask if you guys are liking Password. All of the new players, I'd like to ask if you guys are liking Password. I'm going to play a couple more rounds of Password. And here's a firework for the subscribers. Sorry, I'm working off of mobile data right now, so if you guys like Password, awesome. I try to give a firework for all the new subs, but my internet's being I can't run too many things on mobile data. All right, glad you guys like Password. This is the new one that's been introduced here. Yeah, I remember you, cool guy. All right, guys, we're going to play another round of Password where you guys have to guess my... Awesome, glad you guys like it. You guys have to guess my one-word password from the hints that I give. First person to get it correct, get a point on the board. The military uses this type of armored vehicle in wars. They are heavy, they are slow. I bet that they are. It is a type of tank is correct. First person on my screen to say tank was Ref Wolf. Ref Wolf, where are you? I know I just added you to the scoreboard, didn't I? Yes, I did. We just added a few rounds ago. We're going to play another round of Password. We're going to play another round of Password. If somebody sends, this is where you guys have to guess my one-word password. If somebody sends this to me in an email, what is it called when I send the entire email to somebody else? You can do this with text messages. If somebody sends me a text message, I can send this entire text message to somebody else. It is not DM. It is not a spam. Forward is correct. Simon D, 1.2. Simon D. Another round of Password. Another round of Password. This is where I give you guys a bunch of hints, and the first person to correctly guess my one-word password gets a point on the scoreboard. See, Simon, you just got to stick around, get used to the game, and, you know, you can get points. All right, guys, people use these to mark what something is. It's good if you have, maybe, say, a lot of drawers, and you want to know what are in the drawers. You'll put one of these on the drawer. It is not a writing utensil, but you would write on one of these and put it on a bunch of things. Label is correct. Just for fun fishing, that is 1 point for you. Just for fun fishing. Just for fun fishing, it looks like you currently overtook first place and you're on your way for entering the Hall of Champions. All right, guys, we are going to play another round of Password. These are considered precious. They are used for jewelry. First person to tell me the correct word for my password to get a point on the scoreboard. It is not gold. Does the green thing have a motor? Nothing has a motor. Gem is correct. Gem is correct. First person on my screen who said gems. Man, just for fun fishing and Maddie, it was close, but on my screen it was just for fun fishing. You did say gems, but I am lenient. The word was gem, but I am lenient. I think, and this show is trial and error. It is newer. This show is trial and error. I think And when I change the rules for something, I do not start using the new rules until the next stream, because I don't think it's fair to change the rules in the middle of a game. But because this is called Password, I think starting the next time this game is played on a future stream, you must spell it exactly how it is on here. I think that's going to add a level of fun to this game. But for now, this entire stream, I have been lenient on typos, which will still be the case for every other game. But since Password's a very fun, specific game, I think I'm only going to get it if you get it exactly right, minus capitalization. So, but that will not start until the next stream. I think, yes, all right, I think that is fair. And that's only going to apply to Password for now. All right, guys, we're going to play another round of Password. For the first person to tell me my one-word password gets a point on the scoreboard. When two people are in a fight and one of them hits the other one so hard that they pass out, what is it called? KO would be correct. KO would be correct. It is knockout. Richard Green, I will give it to you for this one. Richard Green, I will give it to you for this one. Where are you, Richard Green? I was pretty sure I added you, didn't I? Richard, is this your first time entering the scoreboard today? We have Javier Anissa, just for fun. Maddie, Queen, Baronator, Theopolis, Trash Kitty, UFO. Oh, it is Richard. All right. All right, give me a second, guys. I do have to add Richard. Richard, welcome to the scoreboard. Guys, this stream is starting to gain traction, which means the more players we get, the harder it will be to enter the Hall of Champions. So try to get your name in there now, because only one person enters every stream. All right, guys, we're going to continue on. People, we're going to play another round of Password. We're going to play another round of Password. This is where you guys have to guess my one-word password. The first person to get it correct will get a point on the scoreboard. All right, people typically go to these places when they're on vacation and they're in a tourist destination. They're extremely expensive. People spend a lot of money just to stay at one of these for a week. It is a type of building, or at least it is what you would call a type of building. It is not a restaurant. It is kind of a hotel. Resort is correct. Resort is correct. That was one more point for Maddie. Maddie, you are catching up and you're on your way to entering the Hall of Champions. Currently in the lead would be Just for Fun Fishing with 7. Maddie and Queen of NASA tied at 5. Simon, you're a close next with 3. Guys, this stream is 2 hours long with a 5-minute break in the middle. The winner is not announced until 1 hour and 55 minutes into this stream. We have about another 18 minutes and then we'll take our 5-minute break. A resort is kind of just a fancy vacation place. All right, guys, we're going to play another round of Password where I will give you guys clues, and the first person to guess my one-word password will get a point on the scoreboard. Everybody hates being stuck in this when they're driving. It adds so much time. You have to go so much slower. This happens when there's a lot of congestion. Ditch is funny. I would also hate to be stuck in a ditch, but it's not ditch. Well, a lot of cars on the road causes this. It is traffic. Who got traffic first on my screen? It'd be Just for Fun Fishing. You are getting your point. We're going to play another round of Password. The first person to correctly guess my password we'll get a point on the scoreboard. The passwords are only one word. All right. I think almost every country in the world has one of these. This is what is used to protect the country and fight other countries. I do believe there's about 4 or 5. Army is part of this. Army is part of this. Military is correct. Just for Fun Fishing, one more. Yeah, fun fact, guys, I think there is actually a handful of countries that don't have a military. And there's even some really small countries, I think Jamaica is an example, that only has a few thousand people in their entire military. Which is, an interesting thing. All right, guys, another round of Password where I will tell you guys have to guess my one-word password to get a point on the scoreboard from the hints that I give out. All right, guys, you people who are in the riot police will use these to protect themselves. They've been used for thousands of years in war. People with a sword would also have one of these. Shield is correct. Simon. The Judgmental Cat. Is it possible to keep the chat on your end up, please? It is possible. However, I do have to be careful because of YouTube's terms and policies and stuff. I do understand a lot of other streamers do that. However, there is potential that if somebody comes in and says something very inappropriate, YouTube can see that and I can get penalized for that. So I do not do it, but I can. I will look into it, and I that is on my priority list for the stream because I do try to make it fair. I do try to make it fluid. I just have to go and add a lot of words to the block list or whatever that won't show up because I just want to be fair. And I just have to take my time and I have to be careful with the integrity of the channel because I know that would make it easier for you guys. It would even make it easier for me. I just have to be careful because I don't want to get any marks on YouTube and get in trouble. So the Judgmental Cat, that is something that's on my priority list. The stream is always developing. I add stuff to it every single day. All right, guys, first person on my screen to say shield was Simon. But I promise if you're here long enough, you will see that as a permanent addition. I just can't guarantee when, but I can guarantee that I am working on it. In fact, this screen was just added a couple days ago. I am trying. One of the most important things for the stream for me is trying to keep this as fair as possible, guys. I've been making games for years, and I know how important it is that games are fair. So we're going to go ahead and play another round of password. And also, I read all of you guys. At the end of the stream, I'll stick around for a few minutes, and you guys are welcome to talk, hang out with the other players, hang out with me, and give me suggestions on what you would like to see, what things you do and don't like, games you'd like to play. We're going to move on to we're going to do another strip of password, and then we're going to move back on to Blurt, which is a fan favorite. Password is where you guys have to guess the one-word password I have from the hints that I give you. First person to get the correct word gets a point on the scoreboard. All right. When you get into an argument, you would say that you are this. When you get into an argument, you would say, if something annoys you, you would say, man, that really blank me. It's not angry. It's not angry. How do I even? This is kind of difficult for me sometimes to give hints, but it's kind of fun. It's not eeked. It's not mad. This is a word for. It's not irk. Irk is close. Like, I feel blank from this. That's not quite an emotion. It could be an emotion. Maybe it's not an emotion. Emotions are weird. There's actually a lot of emotions. It starts with a U. I will give another hint. It starts with a U. It starts with a U. I feel. It starts with a U. It's not frustrated. It's not unhappy. That was a good guess, though. That does start with a U. Unpleasant is closer. It is not it. It is. It does start with a UN. It does start with a UN. Oh, I'm sorry, UP. I'm so sorry. UP. It starts with a UP. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It starts with a UP. All right, I'm going to give the next letter. UPS. There's only 2 letters left. It is a 5-letter word. Upset is correct. 1 point to Maddie. Hey guys, this is the first time I'm playing this game on the stream, so I am actively live right now trying to figure out how to make it work the best with you guys, to keep it fluid and fun. Upset, I believe. Maddie, you were the first person to see it. Maddie, stop beating. That's funny. All right, we're going to play another one. We're going to play another round of... And by the way, if I ever play a game on the stream and it just a couple times and it just really doesn't go well, we won't play it again. This is going to be consistently trial and error for years to come. Hopefully we get to do this for years together because I think everybody has fun and this is fun. All right, guys, businesses try to get this. We're going to play another round of password. What is my one-word password? Businesses. This is kind of the goal for businesses, is to earn this, kind of. It's not quite money. Most businesses don't earn this until about a year or 2 in. It's not stock. Profit is correct. 1 point to Theopolis. Theopolis. There you go. All right, guys, we're going to play another round of password. All right, guys, the first person to guess my one-word password will get a point on the scoreboard. All right, guys, this is a type of fabric. I'm pretty sure it's a type of fabric. It is definitely, I'm pretty sure it's a type of cake as well. It's pretty soft, unless you're eating. Wow, there's a lot of fabrics that are also cakes. Another hint would be the cake would be red blank cake. I so hope that I have this right. I do not eat cake, and I'm sorry if I have this wrong. Velvet is correct. Emma IDK, welcome back, Emma. Welcome back, Emma. Guys, velvet is a type of fabric, right? That's not a fabric. I am so sorry, guys. I don't know everything in the world. Very sorry. I thought velvet was a type of fabric. It is. Yeah, it is. Okay, I thought it was. I don't know. It could be. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. There's a lot of votes there. Emma, welcome to the scoreboard. I thought it was a fabric. There's a lot of us thinking velvet is. I'm going to go ahead and check because we are here to learn as true. Learn as well. I'm gonna do a quick Google. Yes, velvet is a type of woven fabric. All right, cool. I mean, guys, I do make mistakes. I'm gonna make a lot of mistakes. Trust me, I'm going to make a lot of mistakes, and I do apologize, but I am okay with making mistakes because that's how you learn in life. Oh, right, guys, we're gonna play another round of password. The first person to correctly tell me my one-word password gets a point on the scoreboard. All right, this is we're gonna skip that one. Okay. This is typically not accepted around in schools or in governments or in buildings. This can give you a lot of time in jail. There's usually zero tolerance for this for many people. Crime is close. This can typically be scary for a lot of people. It happens more, I believe, in cities and at night especially. Crime and robbery is a type of this. Murder is a type of this. Fighting is a type of this. Theft is not a type of this unless it's a robbery. If it's a robbery, then it is a type of this. Violence is correct. Violence is correct. Guys, I don't know how I'm doing with my hints. You know, this game's new to me. I hope I'm doing okay. I'm just kind of going off of, if I run out of hints, I'm kind of going off of what you guys say. So I hope it's working out. It looks like it's going good so far. All right, first person on my screen to say violence was Theopolis. Theopolis, I'm really glad you came back for another show. Really glad you came back. It's good to see a bunch of champions in here. All right, guys, we're going to play another round of password. First person to correctly guess my one-word password will get a point on the scoreboard. All right, this is considered a lucky symbol with 4 leaves that is green. This is a lucky symbol. It is not quite a clover. Shamrock is correct. I am sorry if I am sometimes wrong with my hints. I believe shamrock is another word for a clover. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But 1 point to Maddie. It is. Okay, 4-leaf clover. It's the same thing. I thought it was the same thing. There are seriously a lot of words in the English dictionary. I know not a single person who knows every single one. All right, guys, this is a type of metal. We're playing another round of password. This is a type of metal, and I do believe the only thing that can make this rust is water and moisture. I think. It is not steel, it is iron. It is iron. Richard. 1 point for Richard. All right, another round of password where I will give you guys the Simon and anybody else listening, guys. This is supposed to be a friendly, fair, fun environment. Friendly, fair, and fun environment. Please be welcoming to all. I know it's a joke. There's been many streams where I've had to ban people for being inappropriate to other users. So as long as your jokes are also friendly, it is okay. All right, we're going to move on to another round of password. If you eat a lot of junk food, you are not this. A lot of people want to be this, but you have to be this by eating good. And Hasbro, welcome back. Health is close. It is healthy. Health is close. 1.2 Ref Wolf. Hasbro, welcome back. Obese would not be the answer. I don't think a lot of people would want to be this. What happened to all the balloons? Hasbro, this one's just for you. Guys, we're going to do a random round of Guess That Balloon. Hasbro, we play many different games on this channel, many different games throughout the stream. We're going to do a random round of Guess That Balloon where the first person to correctly guess what I am making will get a point on the scoreboard. Hasbro, I don't want to play the exact same game every single time just because I want to make it different. I want to make it unique, and I also would like to switch it up. I think people are going to like playing different games, and some people aren't going to like all of the games. Some people are, some people aren't, and so I want to make it fun for everybody. Maybe some streams I play games that you don't like at all. That's okay, because I try to stream every single day. Swan is correct. Swan is correct. There you go, Hasbro. There's the very fun game. First person on my screen to say Swan was Richard. Richard, where are you on the scoreboard? Guys, watch out. The first time Richard came in the stream, he was crushing it. Crushing it. Him and Javier had a great battle. All right, let me see how much time we have. We do take a 5-minute break halfway through. We're going to do that in a few minutes. We're going to take a 5-minute break. We're going to play one more round of Password, and then we're probably going to do a round of Blurt. All right. Go ahead and skip that word. All right, guys, another round of password. The first person to correctly guess my one-word password gets a point on the scoreboard. All right, guys, you have to put in a lot of this to achieve something. You could be naturally talented at something, but if you don't put in this, your talent's probably not going to go anywhere. Effort is correct. 1 point for Theopolis. Where are you, Theopolis, on the scoreboard? That's right, you are brown because you've already... Oh, champion. It's okay if you misspelled, guys. For this stream, I'm allowing mistakes and typos for password, but on moving forward on future streams for at least password, I will not allow typos since the game is called Password. Then you guys must exactly get it how it's spelled. Capitalization does not matter, though. But when I change the rules to a game, unless it's extremely important, I will not implement the new rules until the next stream. Because I do not like when I play games with people and they change the rules halfway through. I think that's very unfair. So, next time. And that's why when you guys play games with people, it's good to clarify the rules before you start. We're going to play another round of Password. Oh, actually, I'm so sorry. I said I would play Blurt. And I know Blurt is a fan favorite for the subscribers. We're gonna play Blurt. Yeah, we're gonna play Blurt. We're gonna play probably 2 rounds of Blurt and then go on our halfway 5-minute break. All right, Blurt is where I will give you guys the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. Yes, 2 points. One person can get 2. 2 people can get 1. Maybe somebody gets none. Did I ever get that fidget spinner out of the box the other day? I did. All right, I did get it out. We're going to play Blurt. The first definition, someone who lives next door to or near another. The second definition, the brother of one's father or mother. Neighbor is correct. 1 point to Maddie. Maddie, where are you on the scoreboard? Where are you? You're right here. Oh, wrong marker. The brother of one's father and mother. Uncle is correct. I should have actually made sure you guys said it before I did. Okay. Yes, just for fun fishing. Just for fun fishing. You've got it. Let's see. Well, how are we doing on time? I do like to be true to the standard. We got enough time for one more round, and then we're going to take a 5-minute break. All right, guys. We're going to play another round of Blurt where I'll give you the dictionary definition for 2 words. And the first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition. The shelf above a fireplace. The second definition, a small bomb usually thrown by hand. Good, Judgmental Cat. Have a good one. Mantle is correct. 1 point to Emma. Hope to see you back sometime, Judgmental Cat. A small bomb, usually thrown by hand. Oh, grenade is correct. I do actually see grenade. I didn't realize that was answered first. That was by Ref Wolf. Ref Wolf, where are you? All right, guys, I'm going to read the scores before we start our break. All right, Javier, who is a champion, has 5. Anissa, who is a champion, has 6. Just for Fun Fishing, who's competing to enter and currently in the lead for entering the Hall of Champions, which will be determined in about an hour. Just for Fun Fishing, you're at 10. Maddie, close second with 8 points. And then Queen of NASA, who I do believe left, is at 5. Baronator, 1, who's the recent introduction to the Hall of Champions. Theopolis, 4, one of the first people to enter. Trash Kitty, 1. Ref Wolf, 4. Simon D, 4. Richard, 3. Emma, 2. All right, guys, for you new players, I'm going to explain how the break works. I'm going to take a 5-minute break at the start of the gong. I start a 5-minute timer, and I do keep a timer on me to be fair, so I make sure I'm back here in 5 minutes. If you guys see this break sign on, the break is still going, and I do keep a timer on me, like I said. So when you hear the sound of the gong, that means the 5 minutes has started. When you hear the sound of the air horn, the 5 minutes is over. So it's a good time to take a bathroom break or get some water or something. As long as the sign is on, no points are given out. All right, guys. The timer is starting. I will be back in 5 minutes for the second half of the game show. 2 seconds left in the break. Five minutes is officially up. The 5 minutes is officially up. We'll get started in a few seconds, maybe about 30 seconds. Luke to Duke, welcome back. All right, guys, we're going to continue on. Who's keen to earn some points? There we go. All right, guys, we have about an hour left in the stream. Currently, Just for Fun Fishing is in the lead for entering the Hall of Champions. We're going to kick it off slow. We come back from the break a little slow, and we do Guess That Balloon. First person to guess that balloon. We're going to point on the scoreboard. The reason we do this is to let some people come back from the break. Hey, LJN1212. It's not a dog. Go ahead and start guessing. First person to correctly guess what I am making. We're going to point on the scoreboard. Not a swan, not a sword, not a cat. Not a swan, not a sword, not a cat. Already done. Trash Kitty, good to see you're still here. It is a B. Yeah, speaking of Trash Kitty, you got it. You got it. Where? I'm going to just confirm on my screen that Trash Kitty was the first person to say it. Give me 1 second. I do like to confirm. I do believe you were. Guys, I would like to apologize. I did make a mistake. Richard Green was the first person to say B. I am very sorry about that, Trash Kitty. I am sorry about that. The chat was scrolling very, very fast. I am sorry. I do like to be fair, though, and Richard was the first person to say B. I can always pull up my chat and show you guys. Trash Kitty, I am sorry about my mistake on that. Yes, guys who didn't see, Baronator was the most previous entrant for the Hall of Champions, where one person does enter every day, or every stream. Sometimes I stream multiple times a day. I streamed 3 times yesterday and 4 times Sunday, and they are. Thank you, Trash Kitty. I appreciate that. I do stream for 2 hours every time, just so you guys have a fair amount of time to know how long I am streaming. This is a fast one. So fast it's already done. It is a sword. We're going to go ahead and move on to another game. First person on my screen to say sword. Luke to Duke. Alright, I am keeping the names of the champions a different color than the names of the people who are competing to be a champion, just so that way it's easier for you guys to see. Luke to Duke, welcome to the scoreboard. A recent person to enter. Luke to Duke, coming in with 1 point. Coming in with 1 point, Luke to Duke. All right, guys, we're gonna play password. We're gonna play password. Guys, respond when you see my text and say hi, hello. We're gonna say password. Baronator, welcome back. Password is a game where I will tell you guys hints. The first person to correctly guess my 1-word password based off the hints I give will get a point on the scoreboard. First person to guess it correctly. Typos are only allowed on this game for today's stream. Moving forward, typos will not be allowed. But I did not make that rule until recently in the stream, so I'm not going to imply it until next. All right, guys, moving on to password. First person to guess my 1-word password will get a point on the scoreboard. All right. You would walk on this if you are walking through the woods. It's a small, short word. Path is correct, Simon. I will give it to you. I see it as a typo, but like I said, today's lenience on password. Typos are okay. But moving forward, I like the challenge. Since the game is called Password, I like the challenge of you guys having to spell it exactly right. So moving forward, after today's stream, you may not have a typo for only this game, or at least this game. Capitalization does not matter. All right. No, Simon, one thing about games is I do not like when people change the rules of the game halfway through. So that rule will be implied on the next stream. All right, guys, we're going to play another round of password. The first person to correctly guess my one-word password will get a point on the scoreboard. This is something you wear to keep warm when it's a little cold out there. Trash can didn't spell it right either. That's funny. It's kind of clothes, but it's more of a top part of a cloth, not sweater, not jacket, not jumper. Starts with an F. Starts with an F. I think they're pretty thin. I don't wear these, so I don't know much about them. Starts with an F. Fleece is correct. 1 point to Maddie. I really don't know much about them. Sorry about that. But you guys still got the point. I think after several guesses wrong, I will just maybe say a letter if I can't think of. What is a fleece? It's a great question. I won't be able to answer it exactly and give you an accurate description. I can picture them in my mind, but we're going to move on to another round of password. The first person to correctly guess what my one-word password is, will get a point on the scoreboard. All right, this is typically the highest point in a house, right under the roof. That is usually unfinished. Spiderwebs everywhere. It's not always finished in a lot of houses. When I mean finished, usually doesn't have walls. Attic is correct. I'm going to give it to Baronator. Do you see that you said attack, but it is very possible that you're autocorrect. Did that? Where are you, Baronator? Moving on to another round of password. Oh, Luke Duke thinks he said it first. Luke Duke, on my screen, it was Baronator said attack, and then Trash Kitty said ceiling, and then Luke Duke, then you said attic. I can't always pull up the chat, and very soon, guys, I'm hoping in the next few days I will have it to where I can have the chat up. I just have to make sure that I'm going with YouTube's policies and stuff. So I know you guys will see other streamers have the chat up, but I don't want to get banned, and so I don't know if they have safeguards in place to make sure inappropriate comments aren't live streamed. So I just have to look into it. But I promise that is a top priority of mine. There's nothing to be sorry about. I'm sorry that it's confusing. Trying really hard to make it fair. All right, guys, moving on to another round of password. People will use this to shield the sun from their eyes. People use this to shield the sun from their eyes. It doesn't quite go on your face, though. Doesn't quite go on your face. They are on hats. Not sunglasses. We can do Blurt next. Visor is correct. First person on my screen to say it was Richard. Visor is correct. All right, guys, we're going to play Blurt. Fan favorite, requested often. Guys, eventually I'm going to have to put Blurt aside for a week or two, shuffle all the cards, and come back and play it, because we are about 3/4 of the way through the deck. All right, Aljan, you said no, it was Maddie. Maddie on your screen as well. Who did I give the point for? I gave the point to Richard Green for saying visor. Where did Maddie even say visor? Give me a second, guys. Give me I do try to be fair, so I can't go back. It was Maddie. Okay, you said it way before I started. Actually, Maddie and Javier said it before Richard, but nope, it on my screen. Let me just double check and make sure that nobody said it before Maddie as well. I'm sorry, guys. I do make mistakes. Yes, it was Maddie on my screen as well. Sorry, I'm going to take a point away, Richard. You have the 5, so that means I have to erase all 5 and just write 4 because I can't just take away the slash in the middle without messing it up. Maddie, here we go. I am sorry about that. This will be a lot easier for everybody once I have the screen permanently up. It will be easier for you guys, and it'll be easier for me. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate the honesty amongst the players. I really do appreciate that, guys. It makes it more fair and fun for everyone. All right, guys, we're going to play a round of Blurt. Blurt is where I give you the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. The first definition: a park or other place where living animals are kept and shown. The second definition: bread baked in one piece. Zoo is correct. 1 point for Baronator. Loaf is correct. 1 point for Richard Green. Baronator. Richard, there's your 5th point back. All right, guys, another round of Blurt. Blurt is where I give you the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to give me the correct definition for either word will get a point on the scoreboard. The 2 points can be handed out. Ref Wolf before we. That was so easy, it was hard. Ref Wolf, I can show you my screen. On my screen, Richard Green is right above you for Loaf, and I bet you on both of your guys' screens it shows you both had it first. All right. Hey, welcome back. I will be streaming again almost every single day. Melissa, welcome back. Right now we are playing Blurt. We have added a new game called Password that we'll go back to. Blurt is where I give you guys the dictionary definition for 2 games. The first person to give me the correct, for 2 words. The first person to give me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. The first definition: 1/60th of a minute. The second definition: a list of hard words with their meanings often found at the end of a book. Sec is correct. 1 point to Maddie, and I will go back again and. Oh, wrong marker. Glossary is correct. Let me see who said glossary first. Maddie, if you would let me know what point you think you got, it will be easier for me to go back because we're rapid firing these games. Please tell me the word where you think you earned the point. I will go back, and the first person who said it on my screen will get it. I do make mistakes, so I do like to correct them. Oh, no. Baronator got glossary. I was going to say Simon D got dictionary, but it's actually glossary. That is the correct word. Baronator, 1 more point for you. Maddie, you said it was Loaf. Let me go back and check. I do believe I gave the point for Loaf to, I think I gave it to Richard. Let me go back and see. Nope. I'm going to show you guys. It was Richard Green. I'm going to show you guys. I do make mistakes, though, and I'm going to be very excited once I have the live chat actually up here. Once I have the live chat actually up here, it's going to be easier. That is going to be my priority for tonight. If it's not done tomorrow, it will be done the next day. I have a lot of things I have to work on for the screen, for this stream, and it is still developing. I've been only doing it for a couple weeks. All right, guys. Here is the chat. I'm going to go up so you guys see we were on Zoo here, and then going back. Richard Green said Loaf. Then Ref Wolf said Loaf. Then Maddie said Loaf. Then Javier said Loaf. But Richard Green is the first person who said Loaf, and if we scroll up, we were on a different game back then. So we're going to continue. I appreciate you guys' patience while this stream is developing. I'm trying to make it as fluid and as fast and as fair as I can. Okay, it's going to be developing. I add things to it every single day. Thank you guys for your patience. I do appreciate it. And I do see all the problems that come up, and I do try my hardest to fix them. So we're going to move on to another round of Blurt, where I will give you guys the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to know the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. The first definition: a container or shelter made by birds for holding their eggs and young. The second definition: a female deer. Awesome, glad you love it. Nest is correct. 1 point to Simon D. And I'm just going to watch and see if you guys the second one. Doe, 1 point for Ref Wolf. Simon D, where are you, Simon D? And where are you, Ref Wolf, on the board? Oh, you're right above Simon. Real quick, before we continue on, I'm going to go ahead and read the scores. Amongst the champions, Anissa has 6, Javier has 5, Baronator and Theopolis have 4, and Luke Duke has 1. Amongst the competitors competing to enter the Hall of Champions tonight, Just for Fun Fishing has 10, Maddie Garcia has 11, Queen of NASA has 5, Trash Kitty has 1, Ref Wolf has 5, Simon D has 6, Richard has 5, Emma has 2, Maddie Garcia, it looks like you are currently in the lead for the Hall of Champions. However, that is not determined until the end of the stream. That is not determined until the end of the stream. You can still lose. I mean, Just for Fun Fishing is only 1 point behind. We're going to continue on to another. You may not transfer points. Points are earned fairly. If I allow you guys to give points from one person to another, that would be extremely unfair. So we are not going to be doing that. We're going to continue on to Blurt. Blurt is where I give you guys the dictionary definition for 2 words. And the first person to know the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition: one of the 4 divisions of the year. The second definition: a small platform located near the top of a ship's mast, used by sailors for seeing long distances. Season is correct. 1 point for Maddie. I will repeat the second one: a small platform located near the top of a ship's mast, used for sailors by seeing long distances. It's not quite a deck. Not quite a deck. A small, and this is a different, it's not quite bird's eye. I'll give you guys 10 seconds on the clock. It's not quite a view tower. It is a hyphenated word. Bird's nest is correct. Bird's nest is correct. Let me go back and make sure. The first person on my screen to say season would be Maddie. Let me give you your point, Maddie. The first person on my screen who said crow's nest. That was a tricky one. Was Luke to Duke. Continuing on. That was a good one. That was a tricky one. All right, guys, we're going to play another round of Password, where I will give you the first person to guess my 1-word password will get a point on the scoreboard. I'm going to give you guys a bunch of hints. The first person to guess my 1-word password gets a point. If you stretch a lot, you will be this. It is very helpful to be this for certain types of sports, or certain types of sports and activities. Flexible is correct. Like gymnastics is what I was going to say. Baronator with the point. Baronator with the point. All right, guys, we're going to switch up the game. Do not start guessing for you regulars who know we start this on the bell. Do not start guessing. All right, guys, what we are going to do is we are going to play Battleship. Do not start guessing yet. Battleship might be hard to play with how many comments there are, but we're going to go ahead and start playing Battleship. This is going to be a very short amount of time on the clock. Do not start guessing yet. So how Battleship works is I have a bunch of ships hidden on a 10 by 10 grid that looks like this. You guys have to guess where I have my ships hidden. The columns are numbered 1 through 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The rows are lettered A through J. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. You must pair a letter with a number and guess where my ship is. For example, you could say A1 or J10. The first person to hit that part of the ship will get a point on the scoreboard. Begin. You are allowed one guess per comment, but as many guesses as you would like. One guess per comment. And we're going to stop it right there. I do have to keep this one rather brief. We're going to stop it right there. I do have to keep this one rather brief just because there's a lot of guesses, and so it doesn't get too far ahead. I do have to keep it brief. And we might have to phase out Battleship when there becomes too many players, but for now, we're going to keep it. Battleship is hard. A lot of people do like it. I'm going to go ahead and read off the answers. The first person to correctly guess where I hid my ship. First person to hit that part of the ship will get the point. All right, first guess. A5, miss. A1, hit. 1.4, loop-de-doop. Continuing on. E5, miss. J3, miss. A2, hit. 1.4, Richard Green. H8, miss. A7, miss. E3, hit. E3 is a hit. 1 point is awarded to Baronator. A6, miss. B1, miss. B7, hit. 1.4, Javier. Continuing on, A7, miss. E6, miss. C1, hit. 1.4, loop-de-doop. B6, hit. 1.4, trash kitty. C7, miss. E7, miss. C4, miss. D1, hit. 1.4, loop-de-doop. D10, miss. B4, hit. 1.4, Ref Wolf. Looking for your name on the board. There we go. Alright, continuing on. A10, miss. D7, hit. 1.4, Javier. D5, miss. E1, hit. And it was 1.4, loop-de-doop. E10, miss. E7, miss. D3, miss. E8, miss. D1, hit, but it was already a hit. F7, miss. D1, hit, but it was already a hit. F1, hit. That was the last one going to be read. Loop-de-doop, 1 point. All other comments are below when I said done. All right, we're going to go ahead and continue on. Guys, this stream is going to evolve with the channel growing, so I do have to be I will learn what games do and don't work, and eventually Battleship is not going to work when too many people are on here. Eventually it will not work. So we're going to continue on. Let me see how much time do we have left. We have about half an hour left in the gameplay, 35 minutes left in the stream. We're going to play another round of Blurt. Blurt is where I give you guys the dictionary definition for 2 words, and the first person to know the correct word for either definition will get points on the scoreboard. The OGs will remember. It's funny. All right, the first definition. You should make a GC before this gets used. What is a GC? Trash Kitty, you have 2 points. Group chat. Yeah, I'm considering adding a Discord. I'm considering making a Discord, so I might be starting one soon for it. I was considering it. Trash Kitty, you do have 2 points. All right, guys, we're gonna continue back on to Blurt. We're gonna continue back on to Blurt, where I will give you guys the dictionary definition for 2 words, and the first person to know the correct word for either definition will get a point on this scoreboard. The first definition: a meal eaten at midday. The second definition: large eyeglasses with protective side pieces that are worn to shield the eyes from dust, sun, water, or wind. Lunch is correct. The second definition: large eyeglasses with protective side pieces that are worn to shield the eyes from dust, sun, water, or wind. Goggles is correct. First person on my screen who said lunch was Maddie. First person on my screen who said goggles was Baronator. All right, guys, we're going to continue on with another round of Blurt. We're going to continue on with another round of Blurt. Oh, Richard Green said you got goggles way up. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I did give the point to Baronator for goggles, but I'm going to go way up. Way up. Richard Green, on my screen, you were the 5th person to say goggles. It went Baronator, Luke, Duke, Maddie, Javier, then Richard, then Baronator again, who said goggles. Actually, I guess technically the first time Baronator said Googles, but I will accept it. Hey, Default, welcome back. We're going to play one more round of Blurt, then we're going to move back on to Password, the new game introduced today. Blurt is where I give you the dictionary definition for 2 words, and the first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point on this scoreboard. Default, I hope you stay and try out Password. The first definition: to keep 2 or more objects in the air at one time by skillful tossing and catching. The second definition: the track of waves left by something moving in the water. Juggle is correct. 1 point to Ref Wolf. It is not ripple. Wake is correct. Just for fun fishing. We'll get that point. Just for fun fishing. All right, we are going to continue on. We're going to go ahead and play a round of Password. Password is a newest edition added today. Password is where I will give you guys a bunch of clues and hints. And the first person to guess what my 1-word password is will get a point on the scoreboard. Oh, Trash Kitty, I am very sorry about that. There are a lot of things that I can do to try to improve the stream. I think I can change the latency and stuff a little bit. There are so many things that I am figuring out for the first time because the stream is getting pretty big pretty fast, which is awesome. You guys are having a lot of fun that I have to carefully choose how to spend my time. So after today's stream, I'm currently developing a game that I plan on adding soon, and I also need to read all of the YouTube's terms and conditions and guidelines so that way I can make sure this channel does not get taken down, and then I have to go through the ban list, make sure I put every single inappropriate word on the ban list that Google would ban me for, and then I can add the chat up. So I just have to take precautions to make sure that that the health of the channel remains healthy. So password is where you guys are trying to guess my one-word password, and the first person to correctly guess my one-word password based on the hints and the clues that I get a point on the scoreboard. All right, guys. You need to do this to get the length or something. You need to do this to know how long something is. Let's say they have tools. This is a very common tool. Measure is correct. I was going to say this is a very common tool used to get this. Measure is correct. The first person to get that point was Simon. We're going to play another round of password where you guys are trying to guess my one-word password. First person to get it correct gets a point on the board. All right. This password. We're going to move on to password. Okay, usually a law or a rule applies to many, many people, but sometimes there's a certain condition that applies to somebody that would make them blank from the rule or law. This is a weird one, isn't it? All right. Let's say you were supposed to go do something. Let's say not something. It's one word. It is always going to be one word. Immune is close. It starts with an E. Lazy. Immune is close, but it's not immune. It starts with an E. Evade is close, but it starts with an E. It's all right. Exempt is correct. I think that's probably how I'm going to play password, is give a couple hints till I can't really think about how to give hints. Then I'll start giving a letter every few seconds. Just for fun, fishing, it looks like you were the first person to say exempt. I'm going to go back and check. And guys, for some people who are lagging, some people just sometimes don't have a good connection. They come back another stream and they have a better connection. And they just have a better time, so I am sorry about that. There's not much I can do about that on my end. I do try to stream every single day, and on some days I stream multiple times a day. Also, I heard somebody say that it works better on their laptop than their phone. Also, if you're on mobile data and you're at home, try connecting to your Wi-Fi. That might make it a little bit easier. All right, guys, we're going to move on to another round of password where you guys are trying to guess my one-word password. First person to get it correct gets a point on the scoreboard. All right, there are different. This is a level. This is a. Oh man, this is interesting. This is if you're playing a video game or something and you had easy, medium, and hard. This is a setting that you could change in the video game. Some things that, especially when you're not good at something, can be very blank. Difficulties is correct. It is difficult, but difficulties will be accepted for today. And I promise I will get better at trying to explain these completely random words every time. All right, guys, we're going to move on to another round of password where the first person to correctly tell me my one-word password will get a point on the scoreboard based off of my hints. All right, this is what it's called when you walk across the street, not on a crosswalk. It is illegal in some countries. Jaywalking is correct. Jaywalk is correct, but I will accept jaywalking. Who is Simon D. Another round of password. This is where you guys, the first person to correctly guess my one-word password based off of my hints will get a point on the scoreboard. All right. You have to mow this at your house. And if you don't, it'll get pretty tall. You have to mow this. It takes a while. It's not grass. It is lawn. Luke to Duke for a point. Luke to Duke for a point. Continuing on to password. All right. Password is where the first person to correctly guess my one-word password based off the clues and hints I give will get a point on the scoreboard. Conversation is typically made up of two types of sentences, a statement and a what. If I were to ask you something, what is that sentence called? If I were to ask you something, the question is correct. 1 point for Luke to Duke. Move on to the next strip. Yes, we can do a balloon. We can do a balloon. All right, guys. First person to correctly guess what I am making will get a point on the scoreboard. It is not a dog. Mouse is correct. I did pump this one up a little bit too much. So the tail is huge on this one. His body's a little fat. This mouse can eat a lot of cheese. And continue on. Who on my screen was the first person to say mouse? Go back all the way to the top when you guys started guessing. Anissa. Anissa with the point. And guys, this will be the only stream I'm doing today. I have a lot of things to figure out. I know it's very, very important for the chat to be up. And I'm also going to be developing another game tonight. And so, a lot of things I'm working out. Actually, we're going to do a round of Blurt. Yes, that is a good hint. We have about 16 minutes left till the Hall of Champions is announced. Before we move on, I will read the points out. Between the champions, there is Javier with 3, Anissa with 7, Baronator with 7, Theopolis with 4, Luke Duke with 9. Between the players competing to enter the Hall of Champions tonight would be Just for Fun Fishing has 12, Maddie Garcia has 13, currently in the lead, I believe. Queen of Ness has 5, Trash Kitty has 2. Ref Wolf has 7, Simon D has 8, Richard has 6, Emma has 2. Looks like Maddie Garcia's in the lead with 13 points, and Just for Fun Fishing has 12, followed by Simon D with 8, and then Richard 6. All right, we're going to continue on with a round of Blurt. Blurt is where I give you the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to know me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, and up to 2 points can be handed out. The first definition, the 5th and smallest finger. The second definition, a weapon with a sharp point attached to a long pole. Binky is correct. 1 point to Anissa. Spear is correct. 2 points to Anissa. And yes, Simon D, you do have 8. I saw your comment. I'm just going to leave that up. We're going to play another round of Blurt where I give you guys the... No, did I get it wrong? Did I get it wrong? No. Did I get it wrong? I did just give 2 points to Anissa. The answers were Pinky and Spear. Let me go back and double check. Let me go back and double check. Let me go back and double check, guys. Let me go back and double check. Pinky and Spear were the words. Sorry, I'm getting lost in the chat a little bit. I have to go back and find it. There we go. Guys, on my screen, Anissa did say Pinky first. Let me say who said Spear. Oh, it was Ref Wolf. It was Ref Wolf. I do apologize about that. Thank you guys very much. It was Ref Wolf who said Spear first. I'm just going to double check while I'm here to make sure. Yep, it was Ref Wolf who said spear. Okay, my apologies on that. Guys, sometimes it is hard to catch the chat. All right, I'm taking 1 point away from Anissa and giving it to Ref Wolf. Thank you guys for being fair. I really do value it. Yeah, I would agree with Luke to Duke. Amazing job on being fair, everybody. It seems that when we get regulars coming back, you guys are also supporting the fair environment that we are trying to create, and I really appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Just for fun fishing. I do not think you got it. I'm just going to check one more time, and this will be final. I'm going to see where you said spear. Yep. Nope, it was Rough Wolf. All right. Guys, tonight I will be working on getting the stream up here. I cannot promise that it'll be up tomorrow, but that is a very, very, very top priority of mine to have the live chat up here at all times. It is a very top priority. So, we're going to continue on with Blurt, where I will give you guys the dictionary definition for 2 words, and the first person to know the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out. The first definition: someone who builds or repairs things that are made of wood. The second definition: a piece of clothing with no sleeves that is worn loosely over the shoulders. It is not a builder. Carpenter is correct. Javier. Good job. It is not a vest. A piece of clothing with no sleeves that is worn loosely over the shoulders. To be honest, this one's going to be very, very true. Yeah, I also agree, Javier. I would have been disappointed if you didn't get the first one. You know what? I'm going to give you guys a hint on this one. You're going to more so see fantasy characters wearing this. Cape is correct. Wow, Richard, good job. You got it. I don't think, and I remember that I did not come up with these definitions. I think that is a really goofy definition for cape, but I mean, because, yeah. But it is still correct. 1 point for Javier and 1 point for Richard. And guys, if I can, one day, I would like to be able to do multiple streams every single day. For now, I'm going to try to do at least one a day, and on several days throughout the week, I will be doing multiple every single day because I'm trying to build a stream and I'm having a lot of fun. I just have to also evolve the stream with the growth of the channel. So for now, I'm only doing 1 stream for today, maybe 1 or 2 tomorrow, maybe 1 or 2 Thursday, and then hopefully all weekend. But I got some things to figure out so that way we can keep the fluidity of the stream going, like the chat being up at all times. So we're going to continue on, guys, with another round of Blurt, where I will give you the dictionary definition for 2 words. And the first person to have the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition: a small animal that has 8 legs and spins webs to catch insects. The second definition: any one of the 5 parts that go outward from the hand. Spider is correct. 1 point to Simon D. The next: finger is correct. 1 point. I'm just going to double check because I've been making mistakes and there's a lot of players. Simon D did get spider, agree, spider, finger. Anissa. There we go. All right, guys. We're going to move on to another round of Blurt. One more round of Blurt. We're not going to do Battleship again tonight, just because there's a lot of players, and this is going to be very hard with this many players right now. Moving on to another round of Blurt, where I'll give you guys the dictionary definition for 2 words, and the first person to name the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition: the inside upper surface in a room. The second definition: water plants such as seaweed that do not have roots, stems, or leaves. Ceiling is correct. Water plants such as seaweed that do not have roots, stems, or leaves. It is not kelp. It's close, but it's not kelp. It's not kale. Water plants such as seaweed that do not have roots, stems, or leaves. I believe this is actually inside of water, not moss. Algae is correct. I believe it's inside of water. All right, going back up to the first person who said ceiling, that would be Maddie. Where are you, Maddie? And the first person who said algae be Baronator. And to make this a little bit easier for me, I do have to put some kind of bookmark in the chat so I can. There we go. We'll just do that for a bookmark. All right, moving on. We're going to play another round of password. The first person to correctly guess my password from the clues and the hints that I give will get a point on the scoreboard. Yeah, the dot mark's just for a little bookmark, so that way when I start scrolling up, I can start there and then just scroll down to see who got it right first. All right. Password. We're going to play password. First person to correctly guess this one-word password gets a point. All right. Some things, actually very few things in this world are this. Some things are this. In the grand scheme of the world, almost nothing is this. But a marker like this, I could take this marker, draw here, and erase it, but there are some type of markers that I would not be able to erase. What is the first word in the word for that marker? Permanent is correct. Permanent is correct. First person on my screen. Who said permanent? Baronator. We're going to play another round of password. The first person to correctly guess my one-word password will get a point on the scoreboard based off of my clues and hints. You guys must guess my one-word password. All right, we're going to move on to password. Ooh, this is a old way to type. This is what people typed on before. Keyboards. What did people type on before keyboards? Eventually it will be an archaic. Typewriter is correct. 1.2, Maddie. Oh. Just realized that was the 5th point in that tally, so I'm going to do the slash to properly keep track. All right, another round of password. Password is where I give you guys a bunch of hints to my one-word password, and the first person to get it right gets a point on this scoreboard. If you were playing the game of American football and you went to go catch the ball being thrown, but you dropped it, what is that called? I think this is it. I'm not a really sports person, but hey, Bronny Lee, welcome back. But I think that's what it's called. I don't think it's a foul. It is a fumble. I think, yeah. Was that correct, guys, for fumble? Was my definition correct? I don't really watch sports. I just like to create stuff instead. I do other things. I used to play them, but I don't really watch TV at all. So 1 point to Luke the Duke. I like to learn too, so that's kind of why I ask a lot of questions too. I appreciate you guys. That's rugby. Well, I mean, maybe it's a fumble in rugby. I mean, it could also be a fumble is when you drop a ball after gaining possession. Cool. It's possible fumble is in rugby as well. I think it's in both football. You never watch American football? Yeah, neither do I. We're going to move on. We're going to play another round of password where the first person to correctly guess my one-word password based off of the hints and the clues that I give will get points on the scoreboard. If something is not soft, it is kind of this. This is a good way you would describe this thing that is really hard, and this towel is not hard. If I say the word, if you hear me say the word, it is not the word. I can knock on something and I can see that it's a very short word. Starts with an F. Riff, I'm not sure if you had a... Firm is correct. Go sports ball! Baronator, that's probably the only sports shout out I'll get. Go sports ball! That's probably the only sports shout out you guys will hear from me is go sports ball. That's funny. First person on my screen to say firm was Javier. Firm is when something is like hard and sturdy in a sense. Javier, 1 point. All right, guys, we're going to continue on. We're going to play another round of password. Password is where the first person correctly guess my one-word password will get a point on the scoreboard. First person to guess correctly based off of my hints and clues. It's okay. Welcome back, Ronnie. All right. Mailboxes are typically at the blank of a house. The opposite of back is this. This. Yes, front is correct. Front is correct. Luke to Duke, 1 point on my screen. Another round of password. A lot of companies will spend a lot of money on this to try to sell their product or service. A lot of money companies, many these are shown all over the internet. They sometimes pop up at you. Ad is correct. Advertisement was the correct word. Or advertise was the correct word. Advertise was the correct word. Luke Duke got ad. Remember, I'm being lenient today. I will give you guys a hint since you guys are the OGs seeing password for the first time. We have a lot of regulars. Moving forward, when I do password the next time on the stream, you must letter by letter have it exactly as it's written here. Capitalization does not matter. So if you guys really think you have it right, for example, if you think it's advertising, don't type advertising 5 times. Type advertising, advertisement, advertise, ad. Try to do that if you guys really want to secure the point, because moving forward with password, we're going to be strict on it to add a fun layer to the to the game password, since you need to have every letter correct. But we're being lenient today since this is a developing game. We're going to play another round of password, and that's the only hint I will give. So if you are here right now and you guys have that hint, good stuff. Welcome to this. Congratulations for being OG. Being one of the first people on the stream as it's developing. All right, guys, we're going to move on to password, where I will give the first person to correctly guess my one-word password based off of the clues and the hints that I give. We'll get a point on the scoreboard. This is what you use. This is an abstract concept, but you use this to think about certain things, especially things that are maybe not in front of you or not in the present. Almost like daydreaming. When you daydream, you kind of you imagine is correct. 1 point for Ref Wolf. Already did that card. We're going to see how much time we have on the scoreboard. We are actually almost completely out of time, guys. We're completely out of time. How close is it? It's pretty close. All right, guys, we're gonna end it with 2 rounds of Blurt. We're gonna end it with 2 rounds of Blurt. This is how Blurt works. Blurt is where I'm gonna give you the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to know the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The up to 2 points can be handed out each round. The first definition: a metal bar attached to the front and back of a car, bus, or truck to protect it from being damaged if it is hit. The second definition: not being able to hear well or to hear at all. Bumper is correct. 1 point for Maddie. Deaf is correct. 1 point for Anissa. Guys, we are technically over on time, but we're going to do 1 more round of Blurt, just because this will not change the outcome of who won. But we are technically out of time, and I want to be strict on the time just to make it fair for people who are coming and going and who are on a time limit and who are staying here just to make sure that they get it. So you guys are still going to get points, and the only reason I'm going to go over is because this, even if one person got both these points, it will not affect who won. So we're going to play another round of Blurt. This is where I give you the dictionary definition for 2 words. First person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition: I'll read the scores in 1 sec, Luka since we're almost done. The first definition, a small swelling on a plant that contains a flower, stem, or leaves that have not yet developed. The second definition, something kept to remember a place, person, or event. Bud is correct. I'm going to give it to Baronator, even though he had a typo. It is not mementos. Something kept to remember a place, person, or event. Something kept to represent a place, person, or event. Hey, Star on Pawns. Souvenir is correct. 1 point to Ref Wolf, I believe. All right, guys, that is the end of the game. That is the end of the game. We have about 5 to 10 minutes left in the stream. About 5 minutes left in the stream. I'm going to go ahead and read the scores and announce the winners. I'm going to go ahead and read the scores and announce the winners. We have Javier with 10. I'm going to read the champions first. Javier with 10, Anissa with 9, Fiapos with 4, Baronator with 10, Luke the Duke with 12. Now the scores for the people competing and who will enter the Hall of Champions. Just for Fun Fishing with 12, Maddie Garcia with 16, Queen of NASA 5, Trash Kitty 2, Ref Wolf 10, Simon 9, Richard 7, Emma 2, which means, ladies and gentlemen, the person entering the Hall of Champions, since one person enters every single time, congratulations to Maddie Garcia for winning tonight's show and entering the Hall of Champions. Maddie Garcia, your name will be added on the Hall of Champions. Maddie Garcia, your name will be added on the Hall of Champions. After this stream, I will be adding it. And for everybody who is here and got their name entered in the Hall of Fame for earning a point for the first time on the show today, I will add your name to the Hall of Fame as well. I do always update them after every single stream, and even when I do multiple streams a day, I take an hour off between the streams just to be able to reset the studio and enter all the names in. Maddie Garcia, congratulations. Bronny Lee, I will not be streaming again until tomorrow because I need to spend a lot of time today and make sure that the chat is working. I also am developing another game I'd really like to add to the stream soon, and it's going to take a lot of work because I have to code it. And so what time do I start the stream? It is still under development, and I'm still trying to figure out a correct time to start it. I think I'm going to tomorrow, sometime around the same time that this started. I might try to do 2 tomorrow. I'm not sure. Can't guarantee right. If you guys, I will, I've decided I'm going to start posting. Apparently you can post on YouTube, so I'm going to start posting my schedule for that day on when I'm going to start. So if you guys tune in tomorrow, and check my channel, you guys will see that I will post my times for tomorrow, at least the first stream. And sometimes I really enjoy, the community post. Sometimes I really enjoy streaming so much I will do an extra 1 or 2. The streams are always, the gameplay is always 2 hours long. 2 hours long. All right, guys, this is the part of the stream where I have to pop the balloons. There's actually not very many from today because I have to pop them anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and pop them. And there's really not a lot. Maddie Garcia, congratulations on entering the Hall of Champions. I do hope to see you back again competing with the other champions to try to beat the high score or just hang out, have fun, try out new games. Everybody have a great night. The stream will be ending in a few minutes. While I'm here, I'm just going to go ahead and update everything. Just for fun fishing, you were also very close. So I bet you if you come back another time, you would have good odds. Richard, you're also getting up there, Richard. You know, you're very familiar with the games. You gave a really good battle the first time you were in here. I'm really expecting your name to enter that Hall of Champions with how often you've been coming and how good you've been doing. There's just a lot of competitors today. I will admit, though, guys, that as the stream builds, it is going to be harder and harder to enter the Hall of Champions. Just remember that. If you really want your name up there, the earlier you do it, the better, or at least the easier. But one person will enter every single time. Hey, Wizard, how you doing? Wow, Honey Doody is a funny typo for Howdy Doody. Hey, Anissa, you said my name. What's up? Sorry, I was just typing some stuff in. If you have a question, I'll hang hanging out for a few more minutes, guys, while I kind of clean up the studio and prepare it for tomorrow. Maddie Garcia, hey, one day you should have a tournament of champions. I will write that down. Shannon, yes, Shannon is my name. That is my birth name. It's supposed to be Irish, according to my mother, who named me. Ah, okay. Gotcha, Anissa. Thank you, Shannon, for hosting. Had a great time. We'll be back for more. Awesome, just for fun fishing. Thank you for playing, guys. Thank you for playing. I appreciate you playing, and I hope to see you guys again. I do try to stream almost every single day. Some days are multiple times a day. Some days are multiple times a day. Yes, there was. Awesome, just for fun fishing. I appreciate that. Awesome. Anybody can compete as long as they are appropriate. Fun, fair, and friendly. Fun, fair, and friendly is what we ask this environment to be. Fun, fair, and friendly. Richard Green said, I'm getting flashbacks from losing. Oh, man. Just for fun, so thank you for the host for coming up with this very creative. Thank you. Thank you for playing, guys. This is really cool. I'm really enjoying this. I'm just catching up on the comments from the players. Just for fun fishing, it was on the treadmill. That's really funny while I was playing. Richard Green said it was a pleasure to play alongside such great contestants. It was fun for me to watch. This has been a very close scoreboard. Guys, I think I'll be hosting again the next one tomorrow around the same time. At least the first one tomorrow. I can't guarantee I'll do multiple tomorrow. I cannot guarantee that I will do multiple tomorrow. Just because there's a lot of setup that is still happening. I just figured it's better to learn on the fly. It's easier to see the problems if I just start running into them right away. Hey, Trash Kitty, it was Maddie who won. Maddie, who has the most points in a win? Javier Goatman, who is also the moderator of this channel. He currently holds the high score of 49 points. That was the most points ever earned by one player in one 2-hour game. 49 points. And it's right now we do have the victory sign up, but I do throughout the game, I do have the Hall of Champions shown, also the highest score, and the number of people in the Hall of Fame. And I do keep track. The Wizard, good luck coming for that high score, because as you can see, we're getting more and more players every single day. So eventually that high score will be very hard to beat. Won't be impossible, but it'll be hard. Hey, the official beekeeper, welcome back. Oh, Rhino, you just missed it. I'm so sorry. Yes, guys, if you see this victory sign, we are at the end of the stream. The victor was already announced. Baronator, thanks for telling your friends. I guess he does have GOAT in his name, doesn't he? Greatest of all time. The GOAT is the GOAT. Goated stream. Scott Milk. Javier Goatman is the GOAT right now. He is the GOAT. Guys, and it's going, as this stream gets bigger, it is going to be very hard to beat that. And it is even right now, look at all the new competitors we're having on the daily. On the daily, we're having new competitors all the time, which means even entering the Hall of Champions is going to be more competitive every single day. Every single day, it is becoming more and more competitive to enter the Hall of Champions. Yeah, Baronator, it was cool that you made it in. Hey, Anissa, have a great night. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I'm just going to make sure I'm all got everything I need to get done. I've decided after the stream, especially after the last stream of the day, more so after the last, but after the end of every stream, I'll stick around and get you guys, as you know, let you guys all talk to each other. Peace out, the Wizard. I'll let you guys all talk to each other. Also, I love to hear suggestions, things you guys do and don't like on the stream, so that way I can improve it. Because I may be hosting the games, but you guys are the ones playing the games. So it's more important for you guys to be having fun. Like, I'll even put a game on here if I don't like the game, as long as you guys like the game. Because my job is just keep score and make sure that everything is running as smoothly as it can. So, I want to make sure you guys are having fun. And it's also why I play multiple games every single stream, to make sure that, hey, maybe if you don't like this game, you like the next one. And I also I try to add new ones every single week. Every single week I try to add new ones. Well, Baronator, I'm glad you like it, but I promise many things will be changing for the better. For the better. Have a great night, Richard. For the better, many things will be changing. For example, the screen, and a lot of stuff will be improving. So I also have an entirely new studio setup that I'm working on to hopefully cycle between that setup and this setup, for a whole different type of game, different types of games. Same concept where people can get points on the scoreboard and enter the Hall of Champion, but it's just a lot of different games will be added. So, yes, I'm working on that one. That's why I'm only doing one stream for the next few days, or less streams, so that way I can put a lot of time into that. All right, you guys, have a great night. I'll be back tomorrow around the same time. Thank you guys so much for playing. I really appreciate it. See you guys again. Congratulations again, Maddie, for entering the Hall of Champions. There's another one. Have a good night, guys.